Okay, we're back again, and if you're actually back now, you've probably seen getting started ice fishing, that first one. This is going to be your second version. So if you haven't seen that and you're still just getting started ice fishing, I really advise watching the first video. It's basically going to get you in the door as far as like all the little nuances and tiny things you need to start out with when you first start ice fishing. This video, this is for the guys that already know that this is what we want to do. We want to go out ice fishing every year, so we're going to invest some time and money into it. This is not the video you want to watch if you're trying to save a penny, because this is after you've already spent your pennies and you're committed. It's like open water fishing, you know, you buy a couple rods, you buy a couple reels, you get a couple little things of baits and lures, maybe a tackle box or two or something like that. You know, and you get kind of a feel for it. You do it for a little while, maybe a couple years like that, and then, you know, one year you're like, oh, I'm going to save money this year, or I got money saved up, I'm going to buy a boat. This is the buy the boat section. But not necessarily as drastic as like a $10,000 to $20,000 boat, obviously. So we're going to start with some of the simple stuff. So if you've watched the other video, you've got all the basics already. Some of the stuff might cross over, but I'm going to try and go into detail and try and let you guys see exactly why you would upgrade to certain things or even start out with certain things. So first off, I think you can see this over here. This looks like a standard little bag, but it's actually one of my pop-up ice shanties. Obviously I'm not going to pop it up right here. If you look up, I'm going to have a video this winter probably showing how to set this one up, actually, now that I think about it, so keep an eye out for that. But this one's really nice. It's got a little backpack strap set up on it. It's really easy to, like, you know, pop up, set up by yourself. It's not one of those huge ones that you need like 20 people to set up with. You can get that, or you can get like a flip over. You know, two of the real simple beginner style. This is still just getting into it. You know, you're not thousands of dollars invested. This is just, you know, what you need after you've, you know, decided you don't want to sit on a bucket anymore and stare at a pole. So first off, get yourself a nice ice shack, something that's going to keep you warm, out of the elements. It'll allow you to fish more comfortably. It actually make you probably enjoy it a lot more, and that's kind of where you get sucked into like wanting to actually be out there and really get into it because you're comfortable. The second thing I would honestly say from the ice shack is going to be a nice float suit. I run Striker. The reason I got it is because it floats. And if you've ever touched one of these in the store, I believe these have like 600 denier, so it's basically the equivalent of wearing an ice shanty. So you don't even actually need that, but honestly, I like that because you can walk around, do whatever you need to do in that, and you don't have to set that up until you're ready. So it's like wearing the ice shack, and then when you get in the ice shack, I take my jacket off, I hang my stuff up, basically make myself at home. And that's because I love ice fishing, so why not be comfortable? So those are two things to start with. This is going to be a pretty quick video because, one, I can't put a four-wheeler inside. We'll get to that. Two, I'm not allowed to bring in the ice auger, the power auger. I have a gas auger. I wasn't going to bring that in the kitchen here. So we'll keep it quick. The third thing is going to be a good heater. I've been running Mr. Heater Buddy heaters. This is the smallest, well, second to smallest. They have a little one where it's a single can propane one, but this is the next smallest one up. Takes your single tank. I forgot the BTUs on this one. It's like 9,000 or something like that. It's a lot. This heats up this so I can fish in a t-shirt. So I can wear this t-shirt and fish in that with this on. The next thing, after you've got those is this is like, some people decide between the two, and I just got them both because I want to do this for a living, so I kind of went all out. Yeah. So anybody that goes out with me, I hope you guys enjoy my equipment. The next thing you would want to get is a power auger. Obviously, in the other video, you start out with a hand auger or a chisel. Everybody else starts out that way. It's just kind of a way to get into the idea of being in the outdoors and, you know, not just laying around doing nothing. You actually get out and explore, drill holes, chop ice, check ice, all that stuff. Like I said, watch part 1 of this first if you don't, know what I'm talking about. But yeah, you're gonna want a power auger once you get into it, so you can really drill holes. They make good electric augers now, so you can pick one of those if you want. The next thing in line, I stand by it after I got the very first one. It's kind of an addiction. You don't need one. You do not need a flasher. But once you get one, it's lights out. Turns your whole world upside down, and you become almost dependent on them. More so just because you know where the fish are when you're fishing them. It makes the learning curve really fast. I run an LX5. Marcum makes that. That's because it's got all the settings that I like on it. I've used every kind of flasher there is out there, from digital to, I actually have a couple other digital ones too. Humminbird, all those other things, Vexilar. It's just the one I like. Get the one you like. Obviously, if you're partial to one or the other, that's up to you. It's the one you want to use, so play with them, figure out which one you like, buy that one. Needless to say, this suit, this heater, this flasher, and an auger, and you're probably already at about $1,200 to $1,500. So that's the realistic thing of it. It could be less, it could be more. It just depends on what you buy. Obviously, it's all up to you and what you want to invest in your thing. Like I said, this isn't the beginner one. This is once you're like committed, like I am. I committed a long time ago to knowing that I was going to walk on ice as long as I could. So it's worth the investment. So all those aside, so now you have everything. If you've started from the other video, you already have a starter pole and all that stuff. You don't need anything else as far as the first video is concerned. That should be your cover to this. Now, I'm going to move these two out of the way and bring these out. So, these are rod cases. And these you want for when you buy those nice, expensive custom rods that everybody sells. I use Tuned Up Customs because they were the first, custom brand that I could buy, and that was out there. So that's who I went with. I've been with them, been using them for a long time. So this is how you protect your investment. Not a soft case. I know a lot of guys like those, but if it's not hard, I don't trust it. I'm not sponsored by either of these companies either, so this is just, I use what is going to save me money in the long run. I've broken so many rods that I felt really stupid for not owning one of those rod cases sooner. So if you're stepping up your game and you're really going to get into it, get a rod case. A lot of good companies make them. There's a lot of them out there, so that's something that you're definitely going to want to get. One of the few other things, let me see, we got shelter, clothing, heat, flasher of some kind, fish finder, something to protect your nicer rods once you're out there doing it. This is one other thing. So I showed these micro spikes in the other video. I went into detail on them and what you really want out of them. But so those are an investment on their own. Those are like part of the beginning thing. You're gonna want those. But these are nice boots. Don't matter what brand you buy. I run Baffin because it's Baffin. They've been Baffin since I was a toddler. They're made for people in the Arctic. If you're walking on ice, basically in the Arctic. Now, if you do a ton of running around, they get hot, so choose wisely, choose your boots wisely. And then last but not least, and obviously it's not going to get pulled into here, is a mode of transportation. Yes, you can pull by hand, and obviously if you're in the southern part of the ice belt and you don't get more than 5-6 inches, you're not going to go get yourself a huge four-wheeler or something like that. But if you do get 5 to 8 inches of ice, you can get a small snowmobile, maybe a three-wheeler or something like that, to pull all this gear with. And that's what I was saying about in the other video that I have for the beginners, is like buying a decent sled, or even if you get, instead of a pop-up, you get a flip-over ice shanty with a built-in sled, so you can stick all this stuff in it and hook that up to your machine and then go. And that is the ultimate. That makes everything that much better. So this is a video for, like I said, the advancement of, where you can go from just starting to the next step. This is part 2. There won't be a part 3, because the only way you could do part 3 would be buying ice castle or land on a lake up north. So, well, at one point I would love to do that, but till then, this will be part 2. And if you get this far in ice fishing, I really hope I helped you guys get your foot in the door as far as like figuring out where you're going with it, and I hope you enjoyed the ice a little bit more because of that. Thanks for watching, and if you're not subscribed already, I would love it if you subscribe. Plus, you'll get notifications every time I upload a new video, kind of like this. They're not all going to be little how-tos like this where I'm sitting in front of a camera. I do fish, I do go exploring, I hike, I swim, I do a lot of outdoorsy things. So those are other videos I will have. And obviously, if you enjoy these videos, give them a thumbs up, a little like button. That lets me know how I'm doing, as far as quality is concerned. And if you have any ideas, anything to do with, what I just explained, please leave them in the comments below. That'll help me out a lot in the long run as far as, coming up with new videos, basically to benefit you guys. So, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you on the ice. Have a safe winter.